guys, welcome to this week's episode of Concentrated, the podcast about all of the things that we find cool and interesting as nerds of color. I am your host, Maria, and I am joined today, as always, by the lovely Muneerah.
Hi.
And Eric.
Good day.
I'd say you're lovely, but you're kind of not lovely.
No, I'm very sweaty.
Yeah, right now you're a little icky.
So nice.
I'm normally not sweaty, but also not completely lovely.
He normally is not. So today, guys, we are going to be talking DC, but specifically, we are going to be talking about the 4 hours of our lives that we will not get back watching Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League movie. Before we get into our thoughts, though, it is time for Eric to do the news.
Because we got plenty of thoughts. I don't even know what that tune is. Okay, so I got some news. I got a death, which is actually pretty sad because he's an amazing actor. Yaphet Kotto. If you don't know Yaphet Kotto, I think one of his biggest roles that most people would know him from is Alien, the original Alien. Amazing actor in that. He is dead at 81.
He was also in Homicide: Life on the Streets.
He was.
Or my favorite role in Running Man.
Also Running Man, yes.
Yeah, right. We're gonna forget about the black hockey player? Like, come on, guys.
Again, I picked the biggest one, but well, I mean, Running Man arguably is equally as big, but Alien, you guys, Alien.
We know what we said.
Yeah,
right.
Alien. They didn't give a cause of death, which is unfortunate. But his wife apparently it was very unexpected, and she wrote this lovely thing about all the plans that they had, and so it's kind of a bummer. And like I said, he was an amazing actor, and he was 81 is still pretty good. You know what I mean?
I mean, normally that's old for us, though. You know, our cutoff is like 65.
But he was black, so we don't care.
Yeah.
No?
I'm just saying, damn.
Right.
It's true, though.
Right, it's true.
Next fucking story.
You're being two-piece. Oh, so Maria's PC, guys.
Just this week. I'll be back to my normal fuckery next week. Trust me.
Or
later this episode.
I know we're talking about DC today, but we got some Marvel news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
As they announced last year during the investor call, we have a Secret Invasion show, which is, if you know the comics, and if you don't, pick up some comics, or don't. Secret Invasion is when we find out that a lot of the Marvel Universe has actually been Skrulls undercover for an indeterminate amount of time. You know, high up people like, Tony Stark, Nick Fury, all that. So we got the casting of Kingsley Ben-Adir. If you don't know, he was in One Night in Miami. He played Malcolm X. He was also in the High Fidelity show that I watched. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't, and it got canceled. He's also been on Peaky Blinders and the OA. Really good actor.
He is so pretty.
He was also in.
I was waiting to see how long it was going to take you to say it.
Sorry.
He was in the Guy Ritchie version of King Arthur.
He was in Noelle on Disney Plus. He is so pretty. God, oh Jesus, he is so pretty. I'm so glad to see him.
They haven't said who he's playing, but he is in Secret Invasion. They have also confirmed.
He could be.
They've also confirmed that Nick Fury, not Nick Fury, but Sam Jackson, who plays Nick Fury, and Ben Mendelsohn from Captain Marvel and Spider-Man: Far From Home will be back as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is exciting. More people of color in the MCU.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm with it. And he's a really good actor.
All of it.
And he's so pretty.
Yeah, I want all of it.
And apparently he is a good-looking man, according to Muneerah. All right, and we have some. Well, I'll save the DC casting for the end, but we do have some DC casting, even though it's just a pilot. We also got the news today that if you're a fan of musicals and Lin-Manuel Miranda, we kind of have to be looking like us.
Yikes.
The movie version of In the Heights is finally getting released. It will still come to theaters. It's one of the HBO Max things, so it'll be in theaters and HBO Max the same day. So if you are excited about that, it will hit HBO Max in theaters on June 18th.
I actually am very excited about it. I've seen
I'm not big on musicals, but I watched the trailer and I was like, okay, I could be it reminds me a lot of like Across the Universe, but without all the Beatles slapping you in the face, because I'm not a huge fan of the Beatles.
I have never watched Hamilton. I've never listened to, except for like maybe one song off the soundtrack that my daughter happened to be playing once when she was here. So I know people like, oh my God, Hamilton. But the In the Heights soundtrack, like the songs in that production fucking slaps. So I'm here for it. I'm very excited.
Not to mention,
plus they got that pretty little light skin thing. I do not know his name.
Is pretty, yes.
As I said, it's a musical starring people that look like us. So
well, that too.
Yeah.
Talking about things that affect people that look like.
Yeah.
So,
No, but seriously, what is his name? His pretty little self doing his Crown Royal commercials, and
he played Hamilton's son in Hamilton.
Did he? Mm-hmm. See, I know him from She's Gotta Have It from the show.
The main guy?
Yeah, because he was one of Lola Darling's boo things.
Anthony Ramos is the gentleman's name.
Yeah,
Well, hello, Anthony Ramos.
They also have Corey Hawkins. Corey Hawkins, who played Dr. Dre in the Straight Outta Compton movie, as well as Jimmy Smits and Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's a pretty stacked cast.
He's probably young enough to be my son, but that's okay. I'm just saying.
Everyone looks
born in 91.
Good. Everyone is. She's doing the math.
Nah, it's okay.
Everyone looks real good. I started crying at the trailer, and that's always a good sign for me. So
yeah, it definitely looks good.
Yeah. Cool. I'm with it. Like I said, I'm not big on musicals, but I'll check it out. Plus, I believe it's is that the Steven Spielberg version, or no? He's doing
West Side Story.
He's doing West Side Story. John Chu, who did Crazy Rich Asians, is doing In the Heights.
Yes, because it was on his Instagram, and I was like, "Look at you, cross pollination."
I love it.
He's getting money. I love it when good directors get projects that they want to do. So
same.
Yep.
All right, moving along, we did get the news that we officially have a casting for CW's Naomi adaptation, which is the DC comic written by Brian Michael Bendis. The pilot is being directed by Ava DuVernay, which obviously we've mentioned before. Casey Wallfall will be playing the title role of Naomi.
I love you moving past the
very quickly.
We've mentioned Ava DuVernay before. You all know how I feel about her. She's my boo-boo. Anyways.
Well, I mean, you guys, you give me shit about it, and I would think it's a better choice than Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Ooh.
Yes. I mean, it is, and also, please don't tell people that I said that she looks like a dumpster dolphin. I did not say that about her. I just said that she. I said
swamp donkey.
In her life. I didn't say she did that either.
That's even worse. You said she looked poor
at one time in her life. Because
that's like saying you look like pre-fairy godmother Cinderella.
But also, she was not poor. She looked poor, but rich. She was not. Right. She was never poor in her life. She just looked it.
That's like looking at somebody and be like, oh, you look like you smell like soup.
No, she looks like people of Walmart. Okay,
right.
Now let's move on. That's all it is. We've narrowed it down.
But she doesn't anymore. She looks
doesn't like
anymore.
No, she still does. She just looks like cleaned up version of people of Walmart. Next story, Eric.
I say anyway. Casey Wallfall was in a couple episodes of Power, as well as Person of Interest. Pretty unknown. Like she's only got like 4 or 5 credits on her acting reel, so that's good. And a young Black woman getting this title role, so. Because I know the CW is, cutting out those shows.
They are indeed.
I would say Black Lightning is ending. You have instead of giving the obvious conclusion of giving a spinoff to the daughters, they gave it to Painkiller. Mm-hmm. We got Black Batwoman, but that's about it.
And the Flash is holding on by a thread.
Yep.
By a thread.
I'd say Supergirl's final season is this season as well. So
yeah.
Not even white women can get their own shows on the CW anymore.
They can't hold on to them.
Okay, you two. Next damn story.
All right. My last story actually leads directly into our main thing today. And this will make less sense later, but we are getting another version of Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max because apparently the fans demanded, and he mentioned it previously.
Who are these fans?
You would be surprised.
I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, you wouldn't. It's a bunch of neckbeard ass dudes that are like, "Oh my god, this is better than Marvel." Whatever.
Don't do that.
You want to spend a day arguing with people? Go to Twitter. I think you'll find plenty of those.
We
dudes.
don't.
I
Okay.
don't.
I never want.
The new version.
Why are we getting a new version?
The new version is in black and white, and it's called Zack Snyder's Justice League. Justice is Gray. It's a black and white version.
Isn't that just a setting on your fucking TV?
You can literally turn off you can turn the color saturation on your TV. Justice is Gray. That is the title. Apparently during the years when the Whedon cut came out and he was at home tinkering with the footage that he had, making his own Snyder cut, all he had was the black and white footage. So he says that's basically the way that he sees the movie in his vision. You know, he's got other visions that we'll talk about in a minute once we get into the actual review, but that's his vision, is to have a black and white version, and it will be coming to HBO Max later, which is really just a way to get Snyder fans and Justice League fans to pay for more months of HBO Max.
Wait. Shh.
Booty.
But can't you just do that with your fucking TV?
You can.
Like, why?
He literally put out a clip of one of the scenes of Alfred and Batman talking, like when he's trying to fix the jet and the jet won't fly, and it's in black and white. And I was like, oh, okay, you made your movie look artsy. It didn't need to be artsy. It's a fucking $100 million superhero movie. But
okay.
you ask the internet, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, did we need Logan in black and white? The Logan Noir cut?
No,
we didn't
need that.
It looks great.
How many versions? I want Zack Snyder to sit his little ass down and tell me how many versions he's got. I don't want
the consensus amongst people who aren't feeling the black and white cut is that in a couple months Zack Snyder will come out and say that, oh well, I'm making another version that's a silent movie and you have to read the subtitles.
No, get him to sit down.
It'll
and
be
show
played
his
along
work
with an
right
orchestra,
now.
like when you go to a silent movie.
No, show your work right now, Zachary. How many of these fucking versions do you have? Because that one that I watched, no. You don't need to be giving me any more cartoon versions. No more versions.
No,
just
he put
this one.
every single thing that he filmed into this version. Yeah, and that's my news. So, like I said, it would lead right into our Justice League stuff.
It absolutely does. And
so if you're still left unsure after we talk about this movie, just know you have another version you can watch.
Now I'm angry. Before I wasn't. Now I'm angry again.
We're not going to be angry, guys. Look. As I stated before, we all took 4 hours out of our busy schedules to watch Zack Snyder's cut of DC's Justice League. And I think we all definitely have thoughts. So I feel like we shouldn't waste any more time. Let's just jump right in.
I have like 5 pages of notes.
Dear God. Dude, you didn't take 5 pages of notes when you were in fucking high school.
I didn't take any notes in high school. Years. I barely graduated. I was a terrible student.
Oh.
Right. But for this, you were ace.
He was most studious for this.
I took them on my phone, and you guys can't see it, but from like
Jesus,
he was typing like fucking Kermit, guys.
I was so many pages of notes.
Oh, all right, okay. So, well then, since you have so many notes, and we want to definitely get through everything, let's start first and foremost with what worked. Did you guys have any favorite moments, storylines, that, you know, you felt should have been kept, that were dropped in this version, or just overall, what was the good for you?
Cyborg.
Yes.
Cyborg is the saving grace of this movie. He legitimately has a story. He has a beginning, middle, and end, and I would watch a spinoff movie about just him. Mm-hmm. And watching this version, and I don't mean to, you know, bend over backwards like the internet is with Zack Snyder, but like he actually made Cyborg work. And watching this, I know now why Ray Fisher was so upset at outside of just his terrible behavior. Yeah. I know why Ray Fisher is so mad at Joss Whedon, because he essentially butchered his role.
And he put in the work.
Yeah, I would say in the Joss Whedon cut, he has like 12 lines, like a whole 12 minutes of dialogue. Whereas in this, like you could condense the cyborg, like just the cyborg scenes into a solid hour on its own. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And those are some of the best in the movie. The rest of them, give or take.
I went to the last one in theaters against my will.
I saw it twice in theaters.
To see Cyborg. What I got at home was what I thought I was getting in theaters.
Yeah.
So well done for that,
Yeah.
Zachary.
I would say, also more Alfred. I enjoy Jeremy Irons as Alfred, and I think they gave him a lot more space to work.
Mhm.
We got a lot more scenes between him and Batman, which work.
They
and
he's got a little bit of a tiff going on.
Yeah, well,
I love it.
that's how Alfred is supposed to be. Alfred is supposed to give Batman shit about his bad decisions. He never listens to him, but every now and again he's like, "Oh, well, yeah, let me do what Alfred says." Clearly, Alfred saved his ass by coming up with those fancy gauntlets that block energy, because that got completely cut out of the Whedon cut. But like, it made sense, and it shows that Alfred is smart on his own right.
Yeah.
Also, he taught Wonder Woman how to make tea, because apparently she makes tea like a fucking savage.
I enjoy it, like that whole scene where she was just like, oh, right here,
Oh, do you want some?
right.
No,
no,
but I want you to make it right.
Do it correctly.
Right,
Right.
right. You're gonna make it properly for yourself.
Don't fuck up
and I
my
don't want
fancy teacups.
I love that. It didn't phase Diana one fucking bit.
Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, she's Wonder Woman. She's been being told what to do by men her whole life. In this scenario, it makes sense, because again, you are making tea like a fucking savage. Alfred has been a professional butler all his life, and he knows how to make fucking tea. Let the man make the tea for you. He's giving you life skills.
Yeah.
So before I get into a couple of things that I noticed, was there anything else that you guys really liked about it?
Aquaman.
Always. Oh,
No.
that too.
I felt like Aquaman was better written. They toned down the broness. He's a little bit more stoic. So he still is very much bro Aquaman, but he's not like, oh yeah, brother. He's not doing his Hulk Hogan impersonation. Him and Wonder Woman's interactions make a lot more sense. And especially when they talk about Themyscirans and Amazonians and Atlanteans not getting along, and like their history, and it made sense in that, right? But we only had like 2 or 3 scenes of that.
You mean when he's not sexualizing her?
Yeah. And they cut out the joke thing where he sits on her lasso and he actually says his feelings for once.
He held her lasso and pulled with her.
Yeah.
And that didn't affect her at all. And it didn't affect him at all. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. Didn't make him be ridiculous.
Nope.
I actually like the little quip with him and Barry, where Barry's like, "Do you think she's into like younger men?" And he looks at him like dead ass, like,
oh, with him and Cyborg.
Yeah, he's like, she's 5,000 years old. Every man is a younger man.
Yeah,
some jokes. Looked at him
some
like,
jokes
it's
work.
not you though, Barry. It's not
right.
you.
Yeah. I thought that was really, really well done. Okay, and so Muneerah, you were saying Themyscira for you really like what they did there.
Ooh, that whole scene of them, their fight scene, period.
Oh, when the mother box awakens.
Yes.
I felt like it was a little over long, but it was better done. Like you could have cut like 4 or 5 minutes out of that and it still would have been effective. But
I always need to see Themyscirans.
Yeah, no. Also, like, it's completely changed. Like the chamber with the thing falls into the ocean, and there's more badass fucking CrossFit super swole ass Amazonian women. And I was like, you guys are scary. I don't know if this is supposed to like be arousing or not, but like I wouldn't fuck with these women.
No,
see, I didn't think it was supposed to be. I think that was a difference. I felt like he actually toned down the sexuality of their battle scenes.
Well, not just
and
that,
just made them
lot,
badass.
A lot more of them had lines. Like watching the Whedon cut, like I did a thing where as certain parts where I remembered it being completely different in my head, I had the Whedon cut open so I could verify the changes. It was more than I needed to do, but at the same time, like I wanted to make sure I wasn't giving the wrong person credit.
I appreciate that.
You were really the A student here. Look at you getting that gold star.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't do none of that.
I would have taken more Themyscira and bad bitches all day.
I laid across my sofa with my puppy jumping on my face, smoking and drinking, and just trying to get through it and taking lots of breaks. I took lots of snack breaks, but I actually enjoyed it. I thought I was gonna hate it, and I didn't, and that was nice. I didn't think it was the greatest thing ever, but I thought that there was a lot of improvement, across all. I mean, well, except for Superman and Lois Lane, they were still butt ass, but I mean, what can you do there? But I
You
agree
mean
with you guys.
bootlicker ass Lois Lane bringing cops coffee every day?
Oh, I hate
We
her
haven't
so
gotten to
much.
that yet, but I have a solution for that nonsense.
All right,
real
so
quick.
we'll get there in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall the story made the story was a lot better gelled. It made more
Mhm.
sense going from scene to scene
Mhm.
than in the Whedon cut. So that was definitely an improvement. Go ahead, Eric.
Until the end, but yeah.
Until the end, but we'll get there. Ray Fisher's performance and actually getting a performance because we actually get to see him on screen
Yeah.
was great. I thought that they improved a little bit on Barry Allen's character.
Madam.
I said a little bit.
I
didn't say
thought
a
it
lot.
somehow got worse.
Same.
Oh no, see, I didn't think it got worse. But then again, I did not go back and watch the Whedon cut beforehand, and I just remembered how much I hated him in the Whedon cut when I saw it way back when. So, in fairness to you two, I could be skewed because maybe it wasn't as bad in the original as I
No,
remember
don't do
it
that.
being.
Okay, here's the thing. So in the original, he was the awkward boy, but still the creepy boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
In
he was the
this-
brunt of a lot of the weird Whedon
He's
jokes.
awkward,
the
but he's
cringy
not
jokes.
creepy.
Right.
Yeah.
In this, he is awkward, but he's not creepy. And towards the middle or end of the movie, somebody gave him some notes and said, you got to tone this down, because he at some point doesn't clear it all the way up, but he's not as noticeable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when he's talking to Arthur about Vincent, Victor, and telling Arthur's like, is he all right? And he's like, well, he just lost. No. He asks Arthur, is he all right? And Arthur says, well, he just lost his dad and he's doing this, so no, he's not all right.
Yeah.
And then he says, oh, I thought you said you didn't care. That was a sweet moment, and it made him a real person. All of the other times, it made him a caricature of
every time, like walking in the
something
bat
else.
cave eating
Yeah.
snacks. Like, oh my god, this is so cool. This is so
Yeah.
cool. Like,
you can
tone
do
it
that.
down.
You can be a fanboy without being, because people do it all the time, without being that caricature of what they think fanboys are. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
I was like, because even Aquaman walks in the cave, he's like, oh, this is pretty badass, Alfred.
Right. Yeah.
He's not like, oh my god, can I touch this and this and this?
Yeah.
Well, but
In his defense, though, it
also-
is worse in the Whedon cut when he's running around touching things.
Yes. I feel like all they needed to do was have him be the last person that talks to Alfred and pointing out things like, so you have this here and it goes down here and then you do this, this, and this, and having Alfred look at him and him going, well, yeah, because that makes sense, because then this can go here. And then, showing that, yes, he is a fanboy and he's thought of this before he even got here. And so now he's seeing, oh, okay, well, yeah, everything that I was thinking of, you do. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Not to mention, they completely play down how smart Barry Allen is.
Yes.
Like, Barry Allen is a genius, and he's into forensics, and like
Mhm.
a lot of the things, like, we know Cyborg is supposed to be the genius here because he's literally connected to the internet and he is the internet, but like, let other people speak.
Yeah. I don't.
Like, I wouldn't have been I would have been confused if Wonder Woman was telling me about the makeup of some other, of some type of chemical, when clearly that line should have been a Barry.
Right.
Like, Wonder Woman is the strong badass. She doesn't need to be a genius. She's Wonder Woman.
She's the heart.
And that's the other thing about this version that I thought was really, really great. When we watched the original, it was like, okay, well, Wonder Woman's the only redeeming thing here. But in this version, she's fucking badass.
Yeah.
Like, they took her badass.
She straight up kills a guy in her intro scene.
She does. And I was good.
That man exploded.
He did. The only thing left was his hat.
Okay
yeah, I one of my notes here, I have Wonder Woman intro scene expanded and rescored because they've really like used her music anytime she does anything. If Wonder Woman sneezes, you hear.
I don't like the screaming, but okay.
Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
get there.
We'll get
We're
to
not
mention-
talking about the things we don't like.
Sorry.
Yeah. Another note is these guys are definitely dead. Another one, did Wonder Woman straight up murder that guy?
Yes.
Also followed by, why not just punch him like the rest?
Nope.
And then the ending scene is more inspiring than all of Wonder Woman 84 when she tells that little girl, like, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, where was this Wonder Woman in the original cut? Oh wait, Joss Whedon hates women.
Oh my
I said it.
Facts.
god. No, I mean, you said what we were all thinking.
Yeah.
Women and
All
black
right.
people. Yay.
Both. Okay. So now that we've given the movie, some of its flowers, let's take some away as well. We know the movie wasn't perfect. So what did not work for you
Say
guys?
less,
And
fam.
Muneerah,
Lois Lane.
Jesus.
Lois Lane's ass.
Good thing I was gonna start with you.
I was
My
gonna say, if we were still
Lord.
talking about the good, some of the action scenes are expanded and a little bit more exciting.
Yes.
They are. Yeah.
Although
I
they
thought the
didn't need as
action-
much slow mo as we fucking
Whoa,
get.
whoa,
But then
whoa.
again, it's Zack Snyder.
Muneerah, I'm gonna let you go on your Lois Lane rant because I know I'm going to probably second everything you say, and then I want to talk about fucking slow motion. So, Muneerah, please, the floor is yours.
Lois Lane, we don't need to see her giving coffee every 2 minutes that we see her. We don't need to see that pregnancy test just hanging in the wings. We could have done that all in.
I'll get to that because I got some behind the scenes shit you guys are gonna love.
Okay. We need it in one scene only. So Lois Lane, we get to Lois Lane. She wakes up middle of the night. She huffs herself. She goes to the bathroom. She comes out of a coffee shop with the coffee in her hand. She goes to the police officer. He says, "Oh, I didn't think you'd make it this time." One last time. She gives him the coffee and she walks over to Superman's grave.
Yeah,
That's
we didn't need to know that she did it every fucking day.
Well, the police officer would tell you with the line of, "I didn't think you'd make it this time." And she says, "One last time." So then that established she's been coming a lot, if not every single fucking day, and bringing this man coffee.
Well, not to mention when Martha Kent visits her, she's like, "Oh, they told me at the Daily Planet that you have taken a leave of absence."
I mean, God love Diane Lane. Love her to death.
That
I don't
accent.
really know that way.
Also, technically, that wasn't even her because we find out as soon as she leaves. Like, the scene makes sense, and I was like, all right, cool. It gives us a little bit, it makes some sense, and you get that. I thought the scene in the Whedon cut, strike me down if I'm wrong, was a little bit better because she's actually at work and she's trying to make the world a better place and Superman's gone. But in this cut, she's home and like, oh my God, Superman's dead. I'm so sad. And then when Martha Kent leaves, we find out it's Martian Manhunter.
So then did she have a conversation with Martha when she called her and was like, "Hey, I got your number because reasons"? And Martha's like, "What? I ain't gonna see you, bitch." Like, what? So how did that, when he came back, how did we
Listen? You know what we needed?
Why did she
None
show
of
up at the farm?
None of it.
Yeah.
We didn't need any of it. We did not need any of it.
No.
Amy Adams, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Amy
Is that what
Adams.
She's the fucking worst Lois Lane ever. She's a great actress.
She's a very good actress.
She is a horrible Lois Lane, and I don't know why we keep bringing her back with her stupid faces. Like, she tries to make these faces that are supposed to be telling us how she's feeling about Superman, and she really just looks constipated. I'm very confused.
I think it's hard to be Lois Lane because I feel like women don't want to do what Lois Lane is, which is be a busybody white woman.
Yeah,
and that's what she is.
Lois Lane is very much the Karen that's asking for the manager, but she wants to talk to the manager about everything that's wrong with the world.
Okay, no, you know how you do Lois Lane, right? You take the next actress that is to play Lois Lane, you sit her down.
Step one: Lois Lane doesn't need to be a white woman.
Fair. But let's look. You're in algebra, and I'm still trying to teach multiplication tables over here. All right.
Failed them both.
Sit your ass down. Put on this cartoon called Justice League, and then watch every single episode that has Lois Lane in it.
You don't even have to do that. Watch the 90s Superman cartoon, which leads into Justice League, but the 90s Superman cartoon has a lot more Lois Lane, and it's done better.
Right. There is where you will learn how to be Lois Lane, and not necessarily just be a busybody Karen, because on the cartoon, she was still a busybody, obviously, because she's a journalist, right? But she was not this amalgamation of various Lois Lanes, I guess, through time and different shows and movies that Amy Adams tried to give us on the screen. That's trash.
Yeah.
It's trash. It is trash. And again, she is a great actress. This is a horrible role for her. I don't know who was in charge of casting. This was a terrible cast. She is not a good Lois Lane.
You're not
Agreed.
wrong.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're expecting any
Pushback.
yeah, no. We're all on the same page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, so all of that. And here's the other thing too. There is zero chemistry between her and Henry Cavill. Like there's nothing there. It's awkward. It's like a high school play when they're supposed to be showing us how in love they are.
Yeah. Whoever did their chemistry test was just like, these two people. No, that's it. Just these two people.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that they changed the line, like when they land back in Kansas and she's like, "Oh, you speak," and he's like, "Did I not before?" Where in the Whedon cut, she's like, "Oh, you smell good," and he's like, "Oh, did I not before?" I was like, I feel like the smell good line actually made more sense, especially if he's been dead for a couple months and like you missed him. You really enjoy someone's presence, you remember their smell,
Yep.
but like.
I feel like it should have been, if it's going to be you smell good, it should have been you smell like you.
Something along those lines. I thought the original line worked. Like saying, "Oh, you speak," is like of course he speaks. He is a zombie technically, but he's not a fucking a zombie. He would have eaten your brains by now. But yeah, it was like, "Are you fucking dumb, Lois?" All right, whatever.
Yes, yes, she
All
is.
right, whatever.
because she wasn't sure which Lois Lane what she wanted to be today. Like it was bad.
And I honestly thought like the version in the Whedon cut where Batman brings her in, I wouldn't have called her the big gun, but like it makes sense that if you're going to resurrect Superman, bring the person that like is his everything apparently, and have her waiting in the wings. That made sense. Not her just happened to walk by and like, "Oh my God, there's adventures, and I'm walking to give cops coffee because I'm a bootlicker."
She's a lint licker. That's what she is. Ugh. All right. Speaking of lint lickers, can we talk about the incredible overusage of slow motion in this fucking movie?
I don't think you can talk about a Zack Snyder movie without talking about the overuse of slow motion.
Yo, like honestly, I feel like you could have shaved about 45 minutes off just removing the slow motion alone.
Yeah.
Oh no!
There wasn't that much fucking slow
even
motion.
with the
My
slow
God.
motion, I could have cut an hour out of this movie.
Ooh, are we doing that?
We'll get to that point. Yeah, especially like the intro scene with Kirstie Clemens, who has like 4 lines. That got weird, and then the hot dog thing, and like him slow-moing again, just Barry being fucking
right.
weird.
I was going to say, so are we on Barry? Are we doing Barry now?
Here's the biggest problem that I had with Barry outside of the things that we've already stated.
Oh, also, news: Kirstie Clemens has been recast in the Flash movie, so she will be back. Yeah,
good. She's gorgeous. She deserves to be there. I like it. Too much fucking lightning every time.
Yeah, the lightning annoyed me.
Was annoying and weird, and it didn't move well with his body when he was running.
His body
Why
didn't
all
move
the fucking?
well when he was running.
I was like, I literally still have in my notes, Barry still runs like a fucking idiot.
He doesn't run well, but still, the lightning and the slow motion doesn't help.
Does Ezra Miller know how to run?
I don't think Ezra Miller is a human.
I mean, I don't think he is either.
You're not going to do that because I fucking love Ezra Miller. And even if he is an alien, he's the best goddamn alien.
I think he comes from the same planet as Benedict Cumberbatch.
Hold on, Eric. Hold on, Eric. Maria, you're a known alien lover. You love Benedict Cumberbatch.
You love Benedict Cumberbatch.
You love your aliens. We're not saying anything bad about it. We're just saying get this alien some running.
Yeah,
training.
get him a trainer.
Is Adam Driver also falling into the alien camp?
No, Adam Driver's just weird.
Okay, because I love him too. All right. I just love weird alien.
For me, he's a little bit on that train.
He could be.
He's trying to catch up on it. Like he's trying to jump on it if he could.
Ezra Miller can't run. I love him. He can't
At
run.
all.
He can't run. And
he runs like his body hasn't decided if it wants to swim or fly or whatever it's doing. He's not running.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And nobody gave him notes on that. Like we saw this, and
he
notes.
runs like there's an invisible man tickling him under the underarms. Like, that's how he runs.
It's the giggle for me.
Yeah.
I hated Amber Heard.
Oh, I have notes on her. Going back and watching the Whedon cut at the same time, they redid all of her lines. She has an English accent in the Snyder cut. In the regular one and then in the Aquaman movie, she speaks with her normal accent. But
Yep.
in this one, for some reason, she speaks with an English accent.
Why?
I don't know. Because she also still keeps it's not like it was something that they abandoned halfway through, because she also does it in the post scene, the nightmare scene, which was
You just
filmed during
reminded
COVID.
me. You just reminded me. I want to talk to the wig person in the room. Jeremy Irons wig. No, not you. No. I mean, in production for the Snyder Cut.
I was like, damn, you just calling me out. All
No.
right.
I want to talk to Jeremy, the one that combed and put on Jeremy Irons' wig.
Wait,
No.
You mean
What is his name?
J.K. not
William-
J.K. Rowling.
No,
William Dafoe.
William
No.
Dafoe and J.K.
as-
Simmons and
yeah, J.K. Simmons.
that
J.K.
fucking-
Simmons was worse. I literally have that as a note. Like, what is going on with his hair?
That flock of seagulls nonsense.
I loved it.
No, you
I
didn't. No, you
loved
didn't.
it.
You are a lying son of a bitch. No, you did not. No. As soon as he came on the screen,
Yeah,
it
I
was
literally have
literally-
Commissioner Gordon looks weird with hair.
Yes,
Why is this wig a
I
thing?
was very much like, who is that? And they were like, Commissioner. I was like, not Gordon with
Yeah.
that suit.
And Willem Dafoe as Volkov. I was like, what is? Did he have that hair in Aquaman the movie?
Did
I don't
have that
remember
hair
it.
in Aquaman?
He was
you
in
guys
the
just
movie.
allowed that?
He plays a big role, but his hair didn't look that bad.
That wet, crimpy nonsense that they put on, that it was like kind of gray but also kind of blonde, like it
Yeah.
was, oh god, no
It was very fucking confused.
Like, I have the note here. Did Mara have an English accent in the other version? ... She didn't. I verified.
Yeah, because I don't think no one did in the Aquaman version, right? I don't feel like they had British accents at all.
A couple of people do. Like, I believe Willem Dafoe still has something of an English accent, but it makes sense. But like, she definitely did not, and her English accent in this is worse.
It's not
good. It's not.
It
good.
doesn't work the other way around. We can't do it. They can do
she's
ours,
not
but we can't do
good.
theirs.
We cannot. There are very few. I mean, there are some people that
Maria,
can, but
hold on, what did you say?
I said they can do ours, but we cannot do theirs.
Oh, we can't.
Nope.
Okay.
he can.
I
The
want
rest of
somebody.
us
No,
can.
no. I want somebody to timestamp that and give it to me so I could just play it when I need to.
Over and over.
Nope.
You just need that little soundbite.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Pourquoi?
The other
Pourquoi?
thing.
No.
Yikes. Martian Manhunter looked like baby poop.
Yeah,
That's the
I
best way
watched
can
that and I
describe
was
it.
like, how
he
does
was the weird pea green.
Yeah,
that
I was like,
babies
how
poop
does
after eating peas?
how does the CW's Supergirl version look better
Yeah.
than this $100 million plus CG version that you guys have done for this show?
Why does Flash look better when he's running than
Yeah,
the
Grant
lightning,
Gustin
too.
apparently knows how to run,
he
but
really and they know how to do the lightning when Barry runs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
it's like when he runs in the TV show, it's like, oh, it's got a little spark on him, but no, in this one, it's like lightning crashes everywhere.
Everywhere. It was so unnecessary.
And he doesn't even seem like when
Yeah.
he starts moving fast, he doesn't seem like he's moving fast.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
seems
Well, no,
like,
because we got to see it all in slow motion
Yeah.
every time.
and even when it's not in slow motion, like I enjoyed the thing about his shoes breaking off, because they made a
Mhm.
joke about that in the original shows. Like, yeah, if you tried to run like this, your shoes would explode because
Mhm.
you're causing too much friction. But like, why wouldn't the rest of his clothes break off if he's moving at that same speed? I'm putting too much thought into this, but yeah, it and then
I
like
don't think you are.
his turning, I was like, he's supposed to be super speed, but he's like sneaking around like he's a goblin in the night. Like, I'm gonna save you.
Well,
Ooh, hot dogs. Let me put that in my pocket for later.
because they didn't get rid of all of the cringiness, and he still had to have, instead of giving him a normal like, ooh, boy meets girl moment, they made it
Yeah.
kind of cringy.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a great segue for us to kind of get into the next thing, which is, let's play a little game of I'm the editor of this fuckery that has been given to me.
If you're the editor of this fuckery, you should be fired.
No,
Yeah, okay.
We just got our job.
No,
we
you're
just
fired.
started working.
You're
We
fired
just
for
started
making this
working.
movie an hour longer than it needed to be.
My W-2s aren't even dry yet. Like, what
Nope.
do you
Right.
mean?
Right.
Get out.
So here's my question. If you're playing the editor, and Eric, I'll start with you on this one, since Muneerah was so jubilant about starting the last one. What do you cut out? What makes it to the floor?
A lot of their underground fight when they first all team up together and like, why are we watching them walk up the steps one by one?
Mm.
Why is that? Flash has super speed. Why didn't he just? Flash has super speed. Cyborg can fly.
Mhm.
Batman's got a fucking grappling gun.
Mhm.
Wonder Woman can fly. Maybe, I don't know. Wonder Woman 84. Everybody has abilities to get up these steps faster. Why are we walking up the steps like we're in a surprise party?
Yeah.
I didn't. I want to say Barry's awkwardness in the original cut made sense when they got to that scene where they're rescuing people and he's like, I don't know how to fight.
Mhm.
I just push people. And Batman kind of gives him that pep talk about just saving one. That's completely gone. And he apparently knows how to fight and run, and he still runs like an idiot and can't walk because he trips over trying to help Diana get her sword back. I did also enjoy that they cut that scene of him landing on Wonder Woman and she just lands like a badass. Like, I didn't need your fucking help. Don't land on my boobs and look at them because you're awkward, Barry.
I don't know that I can I rebuttal?
Sure.
I don't know that we should cut put in the Batman Barry scene. I liked this way more than I liked that one.
I thought it made a little bit more sense, but at the end with them like running out people and everyone running at regular speed, it made more sense. Whereas before it's like Barry got everybody in and out, before anything happened. But I felt like it would have given Flash's character a little bit more like, because again, he is the most novice of the superheroes outside of Cyborg, but Cyborg, like his computer is telling him what to do. It automatically attacks for him. I felt like
really fight in this one. I mean, he just ran around.
Yeah.
And he helped Cyborg get the people out, but Cyborg was was behind if anything came. Barry was leading the way.
Well,
So
it
I
also
didn't appreciate
it
that.
changed a bit because Steppenwolf's his motivation changed in this. So like we didn't even talk about Steppenwolf and his dumb breathing armor. I don't understand why you had to change the look for him. I thought his regular look looked okay. No, his armor it breathes with him and like moves up and down, and when he gets angry it spikes out like he's fucking Shredder.
Gills.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, but he's not a fish. So why the fuck does he have gills?
He might be a fish. He was
don't know what
underwater
he
in
is,
Atlantis doing whatever.
Until she was drowning his ass.
Yeah.
He did not like that.
No.
What else are you cutting?
Yeah, what else are you cutting, Eric?
Hang on, I'm
Before
going
we
back
get to our cuts.
Going back to my notes.
He's not used to having notes.
He's not. We have notes every week. He's just like, yep, I'm just here so I don't get fined. And now,
yeah.
now
he don't know what to do with
like,
No, I got weird ones here. Like Aquaman dresses like an 80s roadie.
But that's how he dresses in real life. They just wanted him to be comfortable.
The Martha Lois scene should have made sense until she turned into Martian Manhunter. Oh, the Silas subplot where he has to heat up the cube and dies, like sacrificing himself. That was dumb. I thought you could have leave him one fucking parent. The whole point of the thing is like him and his dad trying to work this relationship because he's hated his father for years and now the mother is gone. Like, leave him one fucking parent. He can, so he has somebody to work with after all this is over.
That was
see, I like that. I was actually okay with them killing him off.
No. If him dying for something better would have if he would have died saving Dr. Choi, who I'll get to later because he is also another DC plant. If he would have died saving like somebody else, but no, like you heated up this thing so it would glow on the map. Your son is the living internet. He could have found it. You died for nothing.
It was very tropey. I would cut that as well. He would still be around for me.
Yeah, I also would have cut the black suit.
Everybody
Superman.
an orphan. Let's go.
All right. Are you cutting Superman going through the hall of
I liked the hall of suits, but then I was like, why? Like, just put on your fucking regular suit. Why are you putting on this black suit?
Because he's a fucking zombie, and you need to know zombie Superman from regular Superman.
Like,
Eric, keep up.
It would have made sense if he was wearing the black suit. Like, it made sense if he would have been wearing the suit in the nightmare vision that Batman has at the end, but he's not. He's wearing his regular red and blue. Like, if he was wearing the black suit then, it'd be like, oh, okay, Superman is mad and evil now. But like coming back to help your friends or be a part of this team and you're wearing the black suit, it seems a little ominous, especially for a man that we just resurrected from the dead.
Eric, we have to do that for the black and white cut.
No, we have to do it because fucking Zack Snyder needed this fucking black suit. Oh my God, the fans want the black suit so much. Black suit didn't even make sense in the 90s during Death of Superman. Kiss my grits, black. This is fucking Zack Snyder.
Wow, grits are getting kissed. All right, anything else, Editor Eric, before we move on?
Let's see. I have.
He's really trying to keep his job.
Oh, I would have cut the whole fucking nightmare sequence.
Thank
Damn,
you.
you took
I was
mine,
waiting for you to
yeah.
say it. Yeah, we didn't need any of that.
I also
The
would have.
entire thing,
I would have
not just
cut
the Jared
a lot
Leto,
of the.
Leto piece, all of it.
Yeah, I would have cut a lot of the score that he put in because apparently he rescored the entire movie. He used Hallelujah again, which he also used it in Watchmen for some reason.
We didn't need it.
Yeah. And then just a lot of some of the scenes are longer than they need to be to get the point across. Like I really enjoyed the Themyscira scene, but you could have cut 5 minutes out of that. I really enjoyed the Atlantis scene. You could have cut 5 minutes of that. You could have cut the whole Lois and Martha Kent scene. Just have her show up at the farm when Superman is back. There's a lot. There's like little bits of 5 minutes here and there that you could have cut that would have equaled at least a whole hour. Not to mention the nightmare sequence, which was like 15 minutes. You could have cut that whole fucking thing.
Oh, and the whole Martian Manhunter, Bruce Wayne.
Martian Manhunter, like, hey, I'm here to help.
Yeah, you could have cut it. You could have cut the Martian Manhunter from this movie completely.
No, but they had to because apparently he put that in as an Easter egg back since Man of Steel, because the same actor plays one of the Air Force guys, and they're like, oh yeah, he's secretly Martian Manhunter, guys. We'll get to that eventually. So Zack Snyder felt the need to put that in.
All right, Muneerah,
Fan
before I
service.
get to my cuts, do you have yours? What would you be your cuts?
I have some. Eric touched on a lot of them. I'm cutting the choir scene at the edge of the pond.
Oh my god, that was so stupid.
For Aquaman.
It's like, what the fuck are you? Is that what you do when people leave? You sing them a fucking song?
And you sniff their clothes. You sniff their clothes too.
I think that woman was just all up on Jason Momoa, though. She's like, ooh, I can't wait till he comes back.
I would sniff his clothes.
Listen. Okay, don't do that. I'm cutting that. I'm cutting the scene where he comes and saves that boat gentleman and telling them to respect the seas, and then him slow-mo walking back into
that was in the Whedon cut too, but in the Whedon cut it was set to the White Stripes Icky Thump.
I'm cutting it.
Go for it.
We just need
although it was better to Icky Thump, but continue.
Yeah, because
it didn't need to be there.
It didn't need to be there, but this
then
is
give
classic.
me good music.
Yeah, this is classic Zack Snyder. Like, oh, it needs to be epic. I need all these slow motion waves covering him. Like, he's Aquaman. We know he goes in the fucking water. He could have gone in and sat on the dock and be like, all right, guess I got to go to Atlantis.
Bye.
But it's not as epic as crashing waves and slow mo and fucking 70s songs.
It's a lot. I'm cutting a little bit of I'm cutting the whole Barry meeting Iris thing, and I'm rewriting it.
Yeah, I would have redone that because it was weird and awkward, and Kirstie Clemens deserved better, even though she was completely cut from the previous version. She deserves,
and at least this time she got to say, well, no, she didn't actually say anything, did she?
She had like 3 lines where she's talking to the car. Yeah.
No.
And then she's like, they both can't fucking take their eyes off each other.
Because that's how love works.
Yes.
I thought you knew that.
Him, I don't know so much.
Yeah,
Stop it.
she
He's adorable.
They
He's
deserved a
fucking
better.
adorable, and you're a hater.
They deserved a better meet cute.
Yes. I'm cutting out his dad, Billy Q-Tip. You know what you did. I'm recasting you completely. He's out. Maybe at the very end, where
I thought
he
the
shows
end
that
scene
he
is
has,
better.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're keeping that. But and Barry's different then. So
yeah, Barry seems more toned down. Like, oh my god,
that.
I know what I'm doing. A director gave me actual notes.
Yes. The end scene where Barry is rewinding, I want to cut some of that too.
You mean him running in a circle for 5 minutes before he gets shot, and then like he starts crying?
Well, no, I want to keep that because that
Fuck you, lasers hurt.
Right.
Let me shoot you with a laser and see if you're not going to fucking cry.
That
He
shows
heals
that
faster
he
than those
is-
people.
But it
Stop
shows
it.
that he is not used to this.
Exactly.
I would keep that.
I
would
like
keep
that.
Yeah. And you know that Barry always needs a pep talk. If anybody's
He would have
watched
gotten
the fucking Flash, you know Barry needs a fucking pep talk. So he pep talked himself. That was nice. But no, where he's rewinding time to go back to Victor and touch him. I want to cut some of that. I don't know where, but I want to cut it.
I thought parts of that looked cool. They would have looked cooler if Barry knew how to run.
Fair.
Listen. I am part of editing. I am not part of training.
Because he runs like, I don't know, this is going to be a super deep cut for anybody with an NES, but the old NES laser gun, light gun gumshoe, where the guy walks and you have to shoot him and he makes jumps. That's how Barry runs. Look it up, guys.
I don't know that I needed them to all go back and save Bruce. I know that, yeah, he's Batman, but I don't know that I needed one more. We're all in this together. I don't know that I needed that. So
But
I wouldn't cut that.
Batman's supposed to be the heart and soul of this team.
It's Wonder Woman. She's the heart and fucking soul.
Oh, I'll let you finish, and I'll bring up some of the things that Zack Snyder has said since the release of the movie. And
yeah, it's supposed to be Batman.
Yeah,
Muneerah, I'm sorry.
At least this
Batman
version.
is supposed in this version. Batman is supposed to be the
heart and soul because he was the cynic in Batman versus Superman, and now he understands and he's a
faith.
Believer. Yeah.
No.
Did you miss him and Alfred talking and Alfred telling him how dumb this plan was and him saying that it had to work because he had faith in it working? Muneerah, where were you? Was that your snack time? You missed it?
No, I was there. I heard it, but then I was still with Diana because I was like, no, she been here the whole time. She came to you.
No. See, that's where you're wrong because you clearly weren't mansplained enough to understand that the woman couldn't possibly be the glue that held this team together. Fuck is wrong with you, Muneerah?
Also, did we need the F-bombs? There was a couple of them in the movie.
I was a little shocked with some of the language, and I didn't understand why the fuck we needed to say fuck in this movie.
Because Zack Snyder's a fucking edgelord.
It's
got to be gritty and dark, and Cyborg's got to say fuck the world.
Anything. It didn't add anything to the story, which made me a little sad. But wait, Muneerah, do you have anything else? Because I'm about to rag on both y'all asses for missing something that definitely needed to be cut. So I want to give you a chance.
Is it the ending with Lex Luthor? Wait, Lex Luthor?
Nope.
I actually thought that was better than the Whedon cut.
Yeah, that was
better.
It
made more sense.
Cut for sure.
I also enjoyed that they changed the name of Arkham Asylum. It's no longer Home for the Criminally Insane. It has a different name now, and I wrote it down because I thought I was like, that's pretty funny. Oh, now it's Arkham instead of Arkham Asylum, and it's now Arkham Home of the Emotionally Troubled.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, way to rebrand Arkham.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
I mean, we've done the Lois and whatnot, so I think I'm good.
So I'm gonna start with my problem with y'all's editing job, and then I'm gonna give you mine. I am embarrassed and ashamed that neither one of you said the whole extra 2 minutes of the slow pan on each member of the team as they are standing there valiantly at the end. What in the entire fuck was that? And
I
why
thought you were going
to
to talk about the 10-minute intro of Superman's scream going all around the fucking world, because I would have cut that.
Yeah.
But then again, it is better than CG lip Superman from the Whedon cut, so I'll give him that.
That shit needed to go. I was like, we get it. They're a fucking team. Why am I sitting here? I didn't finish this whole ass bowl of popcorn, and we're only halfway through the team. Mm-hmm. How slow is this camera moving?
Them looking at each other. You mean Barry and Victor fist pumping? You don't want that? Yay!
Also, they cut out Cyborg's booyah.
Yeah. I was okay with that.
I was all right with that too.
Because I feel like
he didn't nail it. He didn't nail it like Cyborg on Teen Titans does.
He didn't need to, but I feel like it's a good Cyborg thing. Like if it's one of those things like in Terminator where somebody has to say, "Come with me if you want to live," Cyborg should say "booyah."
I'm good with it until you bring Beast Boy. Until they actually, because the Cyborg on Doom Patrol says it all the time. So yeah, I'm good with that.
Doom Patrol's a better show than this movie.
It is, though. It really is. And it's getting ready to come back. Yes.
And they say fuck all the time on that, and it works.
And it makes sense. But now let's get to my editing job. Now that I've properly shamed you two for being okay with that fuckery at the end.
It's a superhero movie. I'll give them that.
I'm cashing those checks, so you can't fire me.
We had to give her severance.
I think that if I were editing this movie, the first thing I would do is go directly to Joss Whedon, slap him across. I'm sorry, Zack Snyder, slap him across the face and say, I'm not editing this because this is a fucking miniseries and not a movie. And we don't need a miniseries. What you need to do is go back to DC and tell them to give you a proper fucking origin story for each of these characters, and then we can refilm this movie and do it right.
You don't,
He's
you
like,
don't
"Madam."
mean I was like, you don't mean jumping straight to the team up movie after the second film?
He's like, "Madam, this is above your pay grade. You
Yep,
get back
yep.
in there and you
I
do your
will
job."
I will burn this fucking footage. All right, I will burn it to the ground.
Madam, you think you have the actual footage? You know I've got 7 Snyder cuts in the back.
Yeah,
you know me.
I have a feeling Zack Snyder has a fucking SSD
Vault?
terabyte hard drive that he sleeps with under his pillow that just
Oh
has
my
different
gosh.
cuts.
Because here was the thing, and I said it out as I was watching, and I feel like I remember exactly the point that I was like, okay, you can cut it here. Where was it? It should have.
I said it multiple times in the movie, and I have notes of them. I'm going light on my notes that I took on this.
Yeah.
Because if not, we'd
my
be sitting
thing
here
was-
talking for 2 hours. I'm just on my fucking notes.
Look, because if it was absolutely critical for this to be like, instead of going back to the drawing board saying, let's go ahead and do, proper origin stories, and then we can reboot this the right way, since that clearly wasn't an option and we needed this, then at some point somebody should have been like, hey bud, you ever heard of that chick from across the pond, the turf that's problematic as fuck but created something that everyone loves? She managed to figure out that her last book was too much for one movie, so we need to do it as a part one and
Ezra
a part
Miller
two.
knows who she is. He works for there.
Yeah, Ezra
does
could have given you her
know.
number, right? They totally. I would have been okay with leaving some of this stuff in, not all of it. Some of it just needed to go, but I would have been okay with leaving some of this stuff in, especially considering that you broke the movie down into parts. If you would have said half of this is part one, and then the other half is part two. Let me give you a minute to chew on the 2 hours that I just gave you. And then in a couple weeks, I'll give you another 2 hours. Because part of the problem that I have is that 4 fucking hours was too damn much. And I'm sure that there were things in there that I either missed or fell asleep on because the movie was too goddamn long. No movie should
when
be
they
4
originally
hours long.
announced it was supposed to be 4 hours, they said it was going to be split into like 4 parts, 4 1-hour parts, which would have been a lot. Like I wouldn't doubt it if give it fucking 3 months and they'll release that on HBO Max as another version of the Snyder Cut where it's broken down into 4 1-hour bits.
Again, Zachary, I want all of your work. Don't be hiding shit. Tell me what you have.
He's done the test and he's not giving in his scrap paper.
So now you're cheating.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
you're cheating.
that was the biggest thing for me, is just that I felt that there were a couple of points that you could have logically stopped between like the hour and 45 minute and like the 2 hour and 15-minute mark. You could have stopped the movie and cut it into a second movie. And I think I would have personally enjoyed it more if I would have had the opportunity to consume it like that, instead of trying to get through the whole thing and then needing to take a break. But it's like, well, shit, I still got 3 hours to go, or I still got an hour and a half to go. Let me get back into it. Because then it felt like a chore.
Yeah.
Do you know
4
movies that
hours
are-
made it feel like a chore.
Do you know movies that are very long that I never feel like a chore because it's done well?
Endgame.
I mean, I wasn't going to say Endgame. I was going to say the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but yeah.
That too, because all the Lord of the Rings movies, especially the extended editions, are 3 and 4 hours. You don't feel like it because there's actually
At all.
character growth.
Yeah.
Across the board in development.
There's good writing and editing and fucking visual effects, and the world feels like an actual world.
Yes.
Can we talk
Yeah.
about Steppenwolf for a second? Because
You know what? Yes, because we haven't talked about Steppenwolf. So I think we should kind of wrap up with our thoughts about Steppenwolf. I know that we've got some grab bag stuff, so I want to make sure that we're allowing time for that. And then we can wrap. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the villains here to begin with, right? I personally took umbrage. I was hoping that they would connect it in this one, but they didn't. The fact that you had in the very beginning sequence Wonder Woman fighting these terrorists that were terrorists for the sake of being terrorists, like they didn't tie to anything. And I was hopeful, like, oh, because the interesting plot of they were always going to blow this place up. This is about creating chaos, yada yada yada. You could have tied that to something.
or someone.
and it was tied, or someone, and it
Yeah.
was never tied to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, how many villains are we going to have in this? What's going on?
I think they tried to tie it in the original cut with like basically saying that, oh, like everybody knows Superman is dead, so now the whole world is acting a fool. But at the same time, like you still know Batman and Wonder Woman are around. Like we know Wonder Woman, and if you count the events of Wonder Woman 84, we all know that lady that talked to us in our head and said, "Don't give up your wish."
Yeah.
But the less we say about Wonder Woman 84, the better.
Did they look like they didn't know about Wonder Woman?
Who the
They
fuck
did.
knows?
I felt like they did. They
Okay,
acted
I thought
like,
it was just me.
Who is
This,
this? And
yeah.
I'm like, it's fucking Wonder Woman. Where were
Yeah.
you guys when Superman died? Because she was badass then too.
Yeah.
So Eric, yes. Now that I've kind of gotten that, because that really just irritated my soul. Let's talk about Steppenwolf.
Well, not just Steppenwolf, Darkseid. Like we get this intro Darkseid. Like they mentioned him in the original cut. But here we actually see him because apparently Zack Snyder decided to get all this post-production done with Darkseid. Steppenwolf has a little bit more of a story. They cut out the whole bit about like the parademons being able to smell fear, and that's how they defeat him, is like he gets scared because Superman shows up and the parademons attack him, and then he goes back to Apocalypse. In this one, they straight up murder him. Like Wonder Woman straight up murders Steppenwolf.
Sends him back in pieces.
Yeah. Darkseid gets wrecked at the beginning. Like in this flashback where like Zeus fucking Hadoukens lightning at him, and him, and I did think it was a nice touch that they brought back the actor who plays Ares in Wonder Woman to do his role again. But like he gets wrecked. Like, and the problem with Darkseid that I have is that his character model is not very expressive. He has one expression and he's always angry. But like you take basically what his counterpart in the Marvel universe is Thanos. Thanos is expressive. Thanos has emotions. Thanos' character model, you can see the fucking the bits of imperfections in his skin. He looks amazing, and
he looks real, like a real person.
He looks like a believable 8-foot tall purple man. Darkseid doesn't. Darkseid looks like a cartoon, and as much as I talk about CG and visual effects, like this could have been done better. I did enjoy seeing Granny Goodness. I was like, oh, cool, Granny Goodness. And they went like Spider-Man Aunt May, where they were like, she's still old, but she's kind of hot. I was like, oh, okay, Granny Goodness. Because normally Granny Goodness in the cartoons is like very fat and like just like she's always voiced by Ed Asner for some reason instead of like an actual old woman. So it was nice to see this Granny Goodness. But yeah, Steppenwolf has a more pronounced character arc where he's trying to like get back into Darkseid's favor. I thought his armor looked stupid and I hated it. And he was still basically just a lame duck villain. Like he was there to make way for Thanos. I mean, not for Thanos, for Darkseid. Kind of the way that I compared it in my notes here is I have that he's essentially elevated to the level of Ronan the Accuser in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, where he's making the way for the bigger villain, as opposed to in the Joss Whedon cut, he was essentially Malekith from Thor: The Dark World, where he's just like, I hate everything and where everybody's going to die. And I don't really have a plot, or I'm not a very good villain.
Well, here's I think that's a really good point. And going one step further, and this is where some of the fanboys and girls and thems, because we want to be fair, got it wrong when you try to compare Justice League to Infinity War, because Infinity War was an event of the collective team. And technically, at the point that you're doing a Justice League movie, it should also be an event of the collective team, which means that you are fighting the biggest bad at that point. You're not fighting a henchman. You're not fighting some random malcontent from, some writer's one story arc in the comics. Like, no, you're fighting a big bad.
Yeah.
And
the DCEU
Steppenwolf isn't.
Yeah, the DCEU was Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and then in between Batman versus Superman and Justice League, you had Wonder Woman that took place 90 years before the events of Batman versus Superman, and then you jump straight into Justice League.
But it's not even like, okay, so
it didn't feel earned.
Right. So go to say something like Avengers. It wasn't even on par with that.
No.
No.
And if you ask the internet and the people commenting on Twitter about Zack Snyder who are gargling his balls in slow motion, it's better than Avengers Endgame because it has to be in slow motion. Yep. And there's Hallelujah playing in the background.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
better that. But again, it doesn't feel earned. You haven't put in the
No.
legwork.
And you as fans, you should feel that.
Yeah, you should want. That's the problem. I want these characters. People will often tell me that I'm a Marvel fanboy, and like a little bit because I grew up more on Marvel than DC. But at the same time, like I read a lot of DC. I've watched all the shows. I watched the shows. I watched Doom Patrol. I watched all the HBO Max stuff. I literally subscribe to HBO Max for things like Doom Patrol.
Just for yeah.
I think you as fans deserve better, and you're only loving this because this is the only version that you have.
But also, you know that the television shows and the animated shows are way better than any of the movies.
Like for comparison, this movie is essentially a shittier version of the cartoon version Justice League War that came out like 5 or 6 years ago, and they had their own shared universe in the cartoon movies. It was Justice League War and then Throne of Atlantis, and they did like 9 or 10 movies, and they're all really fucking good, and they felt like a collective universe where these characters exist and they've reached their potential. This feels like the opposite. This feels like rushing, like you're sprinting to the finish line, but you haven't finished the marathon. You're only a mile in.
But this happens because, at the very top, there isn't a Kevin Feige type character on the DC side to basically say, let's vision board this shit out from beginning to end. Where are we starting? Where are we trying to get to? And unfortunately, it shows. Because again, when you're giving me a mid-level villain, normally a mid-level villain is what you get in an origin story because it only takes one hero to defeat them.
Yeah.
You're giving me a mid-level villain and telling me that you need Wonder Woman, Batman, The Flash, Cyborg, and Superman?
Even
for
Darkseid,
a mid-level villain?
Even Darkseid didn't seem that threatening because he got his ass beaten in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was like, let me see a flashback of Thanos getting his ass beat. Thanos showed up and beat the shit out of all the Avengers, and he didn't even have all the fucking Infinity Stones.
He did not.
He was wrecking them. He wrecked
that
the
was light
Hulk
work for him.
with none.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel earned. You've moved the goalpost to push this along because you're trying to catch up, and people are going to say, "Oh no, they're not trying to catch up with Marvel. They're in different leagues." Well, yeah, you're in the fucking in the amateur league.
Okay, and if they're in different leagues, then don't talk to me.
Yeah,
like don't because I mean you're not in my league, baby. You're below me. But you know that, like, you should want more for your people.
Yeah, you should want better.
Yeah,
I think that what Eric said is the just the honest truth.
Well, it's
those
basically
will listen.
You got these two movies, and I enjoy Man of Steel, even it's broken, but I enjoy it more than Batman versus Superman. This is like Joss Whedon fed you guys a shit sandwich, and you were like, "Oh, this is terrible." Zack Snyder, who like put the toast in the fucking machine and slathered it up with the mayonnaise, he came back later and was like, "Yeah, this is terrible," and put bacon on that shit sandwich, and now you're like, "Oh my god, this sandwich is amazing. I've got shit in my teeth, but I taste the bacon now." It was worth the wait.
Wow. Just wow. Yes, but wow. Before we move on to the grab bag, just fans, because I know we've got some DC faithful that follow us.
I want better
watch
for you.
Our show.
Yeah.
I just want better. I want the DCEU and Warner Brothers to give us on screen, on the big screen, what they have been giving us for decades now in the cartoons.
Not even that.
And in the shows.
Yeah,
in
the shows and cartoons, great. But some of the things that followed this have been better. Shazam is better. Aquaman is better than this.
No,
it's not
better.
a great movie, but it's better than this. The new Suicide Squad looks great. Like, you've made better movies than this.
I mean,
don't fall back on Zack Snyder.
The Harley Quinn movie was
Birds
better.
of Prey is better than this.
Birds of Prey was better than this.
And I know people will argue because some people didn't enjoy it, but like, you've done better work. The moment you let go of Zack Snyder, and yeah, Joss Whedon did a terrible job, but you've got all these other people like David Sandberg who did Shazam. I'm genuinely looking forward to Black Adam, and I couldn't give a shit about it before. But I saw Shazam and I was like, okay, if this is eventually going to be the movie that we're getting, like if we got a Black Adam and then we get Shazam 2 and he fights Black Adam, I'm in for it because I enjoyed Shazam so much. I enjoyed Man of Steel a little bit. I didn't. This is the same problem that we had with Batman versus Superman, the director's cut, where it is a better movie, but it's an extra hour long. If you would have just gotten the things from the extra parts into your main movie, it would have been an enjoyable experience. But you spent too much time on style as opposed to substance. You put all the substance in the director's cut, and I shouldn't have to buy a second copy to understand your movie.
And like there's nothing. I feel like that's like a mic drop right there. Like, what else can we say? Excuse me. So
And again,
with
I
that,
still don't believe that he shouldn't have gotten the second chance. You don't get a second try. And I understand
Yeah.
the situation with his family, and he lost his daughter, and that's very tragic. But again, you could have asked the studio to put this on hold and come back later, or at least give Joss Whedon the director's notes, and I'm sure the studio would have listened to you over Joss Whedon.
yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean, I'm
Well,
not, because I know there's a lot of fuckery going on behind the scenes, but at the same time, like, this was your baby, and looking at this version, if this is your vision, not to mention the whole 4:3 aspect thing we didn't even talk about.
that was fucking terrible.
Yeah,
That angered me.
because he filmed it parts in IMAX and he wanted this to display in IMAX, and he wants everything to be on the screen so you can see instead of things being stretched out. I understand that, but you had a full ass year to do this movie. You could have adapted it to make it look better on widescreen TVs. I don't have a 4K ultra wide TV to watch it in a fucking box that makes it look like I'm watching it on an iPod video. So that's just nitpicky, but that has nothing to do with the actual quality of the movie.
Yeah. All right. So with that, I know we had some listeners and viewers that had some thoughts. So Muneerah, it's been a minute, but you got a
I
grab
think we got a
bag,
couple.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have a couple?
We have a voicemail, and I
We do
believe
have
we
a
have a
voicemail.
couple of Instagrams.
We have a voicemail that transitioned to Instagram
Mm-hmm.
because I believe
Wow.
they got cut off. Oh, wait. First of all, boop, 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 boop. Okay. Now,
It's grab bag time, y'all.
Right. It's grab bag. It's grab bag. It's grab bag.
Yeah, because there's two. Oh my God. So that one's 2 minutes. We've got 5 minutes worth of voicemails.
One of
And
those
he got-
voicemails though is about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so we'll get to that when we do.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, are we going to do? And we're talking about Kevin.
Yes.
Are we going to do Kevin's voicemail and then his addendum in the DMs in our DMs?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Because,
let's do that.
yeah.
Hi guys, it's KB. I just wanted to chime in now about Zack's Justice League. Okay, I don't know what ganja they were smoking with the first one, but this one was so much better than the first one that they put out. If they had done this, and I reckon I would have done it in a 2-part movie, so that you could have gotten those people who can't handle 4 hours in a row into it, or even if you cut it down somehow to 3, which personally I don't think you should. I think 4 hours is perfect for it. I think you just find a breaking point in the movie and shift it into 2 2-hour movies. And I recommend those who aren't, movie watchers, athletes like us that can't do 4 hours straight through, to do it in breaks so you can actually enjoy it. Back to the movie. I love how it was serious throughout. It didn't go try to force comedy in there when there shouldn't been. You got to experience their background stories on your heroes, which was greatly needed, especially with Cyborg and Flash. I love seeing Iris. I hope she has a bigger role in the Flash movie if it does get made, and that because she's a cutie, and I think she will excel at it. Back to the story, I love seeing Darkseid. I like the fact it was an interesting twist that they had Darkseid be the one defeated in the first battle. That kind of threw me for a loop. I still thought it would have been Stefan, and Darkseid would have been the one who was angry and recalled them back, like they did in the first one. But it was an interesting twist. I could say you could almost even say that it was a young dark side if you wanted. Anyway, I thought it was a great opening. I like seeing all the gods. The fight scene for the first invasion of Earth was perfect. I think the second one was even better. I love the fact that they got rid of the fact that Batman had to use a police siren to draw the draw the bugs away. I can't think of their names right now. Anyway, that was one of the most stupidest things they included in that movie, along with a few others. But anyway, this one was such a better plot story. Seeing Superman in the black suit was perfect. I love the fact that the suit even offered.
Kevin got cut off from
Yeah.
his voicemail.
He was making some interesting points.
Well, he finishes. He finishes with, I got cut off from my call and I forgot where I left off. So in a nutshell, Justice League 2.0 was great, especially when compared to the first version, which is something that we said, which was clearly a jumbled mess of Zack and happy ending overload.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind the happier, like, I didn't mind the tone they were trying to get, because up until this point it was very dark and gritty, and that was a whole thing. And whenever I hear the terms dark and gritty applied to anything, I immediately don't want to see it anymore. So I didn't mind him trying to lighten this up, but at the same time he fucked it all up. Again, shit sandwich, bacon on the shit sandwich.
Yes, no, you've told us your lunch menu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So thank you for that, Kevon. Again, hopping in our DMs and blowing up our phone. We appreciate you. Next we have Med Monkey. He jumped into our DMs.
Wait, did his name change, Matt Monkey? He's
French.
He's European now.
He's French.
Okay. Oh, Monkey.
No. Oh dear God. Okay, so he says, "What's up, guys? I know it's been a while, but I just wanted to hop in real quick to talk to you about the Snyder Cut. And no lie, I actually enjoyed it way more than when I saw it in the movie theaters. Don't get me wrong; it could have been trimmed down to 3 hours, which is something that Maria said. But a lot of Cyborg and Flash scenes really made the story make more sense. Fair."
I feel like the Cyborg scenes made sense. The Flash scenes just like they made sense in the precursor to us knowing that Barry fucks everything up with time because he's Barry Allen,
and time is his boo, and
even if it wasn't Ezra Miller being weird, awkward Barry Allen, like him just being Barry Allen and have the ability to travel through time fucks everything up.
I'm
That's
surprised.
Flashpoint.
I'm surprised that they didn't like show his mother like just a little bit. And then give him the inkling, like, "Ooh, maybe."
I feel like at that point, maybe the studio was like, "Look, Zack, all right,
we gotta stop.
Enough.
Right.
We've given you enough money. Finish the fucking movie."
Like now, right now.
Okay, so he continues. It had a very Justice League War / Flashpoint feel. It is feel to Darkseid was scary. Sorry, he doesn't use any punctuations. My God. To it, Darkseid was scary as fuck, and I really like the details in Steppenwolf's armor. My only dislike of the, I know, baby, I know. The only dislike, Jesus. Okay, my only dislike of the movie were the trash score, which we talked about, and the overall length of it. I'll give it 3 of 5 stars. That's a little high, but okay. And then he does some PS that I've already taken care of, so we're not going to talk about it because we will fix it in post. So thank you.
Okay.
So thank you for all of your. Thank you.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that I saw, right?
No, I think that's it. I
Okay.
don't recall anything else.
You know how I like to forget, how I like to miss grab bags. It's my segment, but I'll miss them.
Do we have anything else to go over? Because I had a couple of little, not questions, but like I basically broke this down into 3 questions regarding just the Whedon cut.
Well,
I mean,
I'll let you look. This is getting long, and you know how I feel about long podcasts, so I'm gonna give you them 3. But
the movie was fucking long. We sat through it. I'm going to talk about all the goddamn things I want.
He's like, I've got 5 pages of notes, Maria, and we've
Yeah.
only touched the surface.
No, and these are questions that all three of us can answer, obviously, because we all had a different experience watching it.
I don't want homework.
No. You can answer this right
Well,
now.
bitch, you're gonna get it.
Right.
Question 1, and I'll give my question and answer. Was it necessary? My answer, overall, no. The ending changes nothing from the films that previously followed or will follow it, and it really doesn't change the stakes from Joss Whedon's version because we still knew the dark side was eventually going to be the thing. You guys, did it was
All
it
right,
necessary?
so who should go
For
next?
Me,
Is it me?
yes, only for Ray Fisher. Because I wanted to see. I knew why he was upset, racially, but I also wanted to know why he was upset actor wise.
Yeah.
And now I do.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was already upset for him. I am equally upset.
I
for
think
him
that more
again.
so goes to my second question, but Maria,
Okay, sorry.
I think yes. I think that it was necessary, even though it didn't change the outcome. We know that it was still going to the same place, the whole nine. I think it was necessary just for Warner Brothers to get back any respect after what they put out the first time around. Now,
but they've done better
respect-
since.
Mhm.
Listen, but it's subjective, right? They've done better since, but it is Justice League, right? Like it is the pinnacle of DC. They had to try to, I guess, salvage what they could, and this was the attempt to do it. And I think it did a good job of doing it. Like,
I feel like it was them, like, finally. I don't like to give in to the fanboy rage. You know what I mean?
But
And
this is her answering her question.
I know it just.
yeah.
like,
So shut the fuck up and ask your next question. See, this
All
is
right.
why you don't get to host the show.
Question 2: did it improve the overall film? My version, yes. The
Yes.
film is better in multiple ways,
Yeah.
but it's a chore to get through. And like Muneerah mentioned, one of the ways that it is better is the cyborg
We get
story.
the- yep.
Yeah.
Cyborg is represented better, and he feels like a whole character instead of
Mhm.
Batman's iPhone.
Yeah.
Well, but and on top of that, it's same answer. And Diana, aka Wonder Woman, wasn't there just to be film fodder sexiness,
Mhm.
because I feel like in this version she was much. I said it earlier. She was much more badass.
Yeah.
She feels like a much more integral part of the team.
She wasn't
than
just a
did in the
boob
first
joke.
one.
She
She
not.
wasn't just a boob joke.
No.
So, yeah.
Mhm.
Muneerah, what about you?
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with. I mean, I answered yes for the last one, and I apparently answered this question for the last
Yeah,
one.
you kind of answered ahead. You were jumping ahead. You were looking at the notes. You're cheating.
Always.
And then, of course, the most important question: did it need to be 4 hours long?
God no.
My
Sorry,
answer:
Sorry.
no. It could have been shaved to 3 hours without compromising much of Snyder's vision.
Mhm.
Outside of some extra long scenes, the excessive use of slow motion. At the same time, the movie doesn't deserve to be 3 hours. It didn't build up the stakes or investments into the characters, and most of them we meet for the first time in this movie. So,
Mhm.
like, had they been like 2 movies before, where you had another, or like had the Flash movie come before this,
Mhm.
outside of just us seeing him for a split second in the first Suicide Squad,
Mhm.
maybe we would have been a little bit more invested. But yeah, no.
Like this could have been Cyborg's origin story.
Yeah, and that's
not
essentially what
tacked
this
on.
version becomes. It becomes Cyborg's
Mhm.
origin story with the events,
Mhm.
but at the same time, you could have given us more Cyborg in something else.
Yeah, like his own story.
Yeah.
You had your Morton as his father. Like you no, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So you don't think it should have been 4 hours either?
No, I'm
Okay.
write my name on your answer because I'll do
Okay,
that.
Maria.
Of course, it needed to be 4 hours. We all needed to bask in the glory that was Zack Snyder's amazing vision for what the Justice League needed to be. As a matter of fact, it needed to be 6 hours long. He needed to give us 2 more hours in
Madam.
black and white.
Funny you
That's
should mention
what we
that.
needed.
Let me. I'm going to sprinkle you guys with a little bit of things that he's mentioned since the movie dropped.
No.
One, he originally planned for his Justice League movies to be a Justice League trilogy. The Lois Lane pregnancy test. Apparently, Batman says at the end when he buys what's his name's house, he's like, "Oh, congratulations!" He is congratulating him for Lois Lane being pregnant. This was supposed to go into the nightmare thing, where there'd be a whole other future where these ragtag team comes together to try and stop past Superman. Superman and Lois's kid is supposed to be born and not have any powers. Eventually, Batman at the end of
Becoming
this
Batman.
he would sacrifice himself. They named the kid Bruce Kent, and he would become the new Batman at the end.
Yep, I'd read that.
No.
Muneerah looks like she just smelled Zack Whedon's fart.
No.
I mean, Zack Snyder's fart.
I don't
nobody
want
wanted that. Nobody wanted that.
Yeah.
No.
Ugh.
But apparently, if this does well, which by all accounts it probably will do very well because the internet won't shut the fuck up about it, we might see Zack Snyder come back and do more DCEU stuff. Which, no, thank you.
I mean, or do it in a normal fucking time frame.
Yeah.
Not to mention the internet now that release the Snyder Cut is over because the Snyder Cut has come out. They now are championing the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse because they want this version to be canon because DC and Warner Brothers has said that this technically is no longer canon because it didn't really happen and Joss Whedon's version is the canon version. So they want this to be the canon version.
All right. Well, on that note, guys,
Right.
thanks for joining us. We're done with this shit show. This fuckery gets no more of our time.
Are we gonna give it a star rating?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's give it a star rating. I think we're all gonna be in different places, but we'll see. Muneerah, we'll start with you.
2.5.
Okay, Eric.
Generous. I'm gonna give it 3 just because I think the Whedon version I gave 2 originally when I saw it in theaters and I saw it twice because reasons.
Glutton for punishment.
I would give this 3 because it does expand on the original story, but at the same time, I don't believe it needed to exist.
My 2.5 is for Cyborg.
Yeah, my whole ass star is for Cyborg and a little bit of like the backstory and just a better tone to the movie, even though again it did not need to exist.
I think it's a solid 3.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing that's earth shattering. It didn't like change the way that we look at superheroes. It didn't do anything just out there. But I mean, there were moments that I chuckled. There were things that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like I enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed it a lot more. It might have even maybe gotten a 3.5 if it were 2 hours long instead of 4 hours long.
Yeah, a solid 2.5, maybe 3 hours. I feel like this is one of those things where the internet is going to tell you, oh, it's amazing or it's shit. I think everyone, not even everyone, watch it once and that's all you need to watch it. If at all. If superheroes aren't your thing, don't watch it. Don't listen to the internet. But at the same time, if superheroes are your thing and you want to see what could have been done different, it's worth at least a single viewing.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'd give it the 3 just for them leaving the line in where Barry Allen asked Bruce Wayne what his superpower is, and he still says, I'm rich. And I'm like, yep, that's your superpower.
You mean that extended scene where then he drives off in his fancy Mercedes, because apparently Mercedes sponsored this movie? Because Wonder Woman also pulls up in a Mercedes, and they have to like focus in on the Mercedes symbol.
Yes.
Tie-ins, guys.
No,
Got to pay those bills.
No.
All right, guys. Well, listen, as always, we want to thank you for watching or listening to us giving our breakdown, because I don't feel like we ripped it apart. I feel like we gave honest commentary.
I feel like we were very fair.
Yeah, we were absolutely fair. So thank you for joining us for that. If you like this episode or our show in general, please, if you're if you're listening to the podcast, please rate us, drop a review. If you are watching the video, please like the video, and also you can feel free to leave your comments.
Yeah, comment and tell us if you agree or disagree.
Tell us if you agree or disagree. Also, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel. Also, tell a friend who'll tell a friend that'll actually come and give us a watch. We are still definitely doing this podcast, which is the one that started it all, Concentrated. But if you're into MMA, we also have Throwing Bows. If you are into British and European movies and television, you may want to check out 3 POCs talking about it. And what I'm talking about is Cup and Saucer. Right now, they are reviewing the French show Lupin. Eric has been forbidden from doing French accents, so I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy it as much, but whatevs. And then lastly, we are also, for our Marvel fans, because DC, we would do this for you if you gave us a consistent stream of shows that are, really good quality, and
but you don't, so sorry,
and all that stuff. So you guys don't get that right now, but for Marvel, who is doing that. We also have our Heralds of the MCU. Actually, we just yesterday were talking about the first episode of The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was fantastic. So you can check out that podcast or that show as well. And then if you want to send us any questions or feedback or show ideas, anything like that, you can do it to our email address. That is concentratedpodcast@gmail.com. You can also drop a message on our Facebook page, which is just Concentrated Podcast, or you can follow us on Instagram and slide into our DMs there, like Mad Monkey did this week. Our handle is @ConcentratedPod. And lastly, if you want to be like Kevin and slide in our DMs and leave a voicemail, you can give us a call at area code 301-531-4393. Again, that's 301-531-4393. That's it for this week. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Peace.